name is Nobuho Nagasawa, and I'm from Tokyo, Japan, and I live in Los Angeles right now. This bunker is in Tiburon number 35, and I turned the bunker 35 and 55 into motels for lovers. And the title of my installation is Emergency Womb. As you can see here, these are the eggs that was casted by 500 or 400 children from Tiburon school. And every day, I think they worked for 4 hours for 8 days to cast these plaster eggs. And it symbolizes a new life, new generation, children, and also the fragility of life and how the life was presented in this bunker during the wartime. These plaster eggs is related to the number of ova, the eggs the woman can carry in their womb, in her lifetime. So it's a metaphor for life, or new generation, or life, or seed, or hope also. And I wanted each children to lay these hope. When the Danish fishermen were forced to build the bunkers, they tried to mix sugar with concrete so that the strength of the construction will be reduced by mixing sugar. And of course it didn't work out because there was too much cement or concrete and too little sugar. Bunkers are the place, the places where life and death were right next to each other. And I wanted to install this military bed and these sandbags, actually given from the Danish military, which I filled with sand and sugar. And it's laying here for people to actually use. Tonight, on the 4th of May, I asked the people, to lit the candles when they come in the evening, just like, they do this in every 4th of May as a tradition. And I hope all the spirits of, the people would be in this bunker, and people will remember this experience.
It's already a monument of culture.
No, now it's a lot of sentiments connected with the real remembrance of the war.
Yeah. No, it would be like fui. You know what fui? When you dig the ground and you find. But, it would be exactly.
No, but now, anyway, there are generations which really remember the war. I remember. I was born in Russia the war because I was born just before the war. But when it will go on this generation. Strange constructions.
Yeah.
Incas, Stonehenge.
The sculpture here on the beach at Blavand is one of donkeys on a beach, and the more I thought about it, the more sort of complicated my thoughts became, to the point where I decided that I had to make something very simple. And this eventually turned into the idea of turning the bunkers into donkeys by putting heads and tails on them. At a certain point of thinking about the project, before the heads and tails were actually made, they changed from being donkeys into mules. And the idea of that is that a mule is a hybrid animal, cross between a horse and an ass, and is unable to reproduce itself. If you like, in an ideal world, fascism couldn't reproduce itself, and it was just a one-off. One other aspect of the sculpture that I like very much is that it makes the bunkers and the whole idea of them look a little stupid and a little crazy, more stupid. And in a serious kind of way, I think that's not such a bad thing.